So over the past week, we started verifying some Apple map listings. I'm certain you'll get some leads, but also it's another very powerful citation source for your lead gen sites. What we've noticed is some of them pass right away, and what they require is basically a utility bill. I asked ChatGPT, and basically like an electric bill is the one that is most trusted in a sense. Now, I had one student that submitted an electric bill, Los Angeles electric bill, but this is bills that she got. These are different like templates of bills that she got from like another JKer. And I think she used probably like Photoshop or whatever to swap out the name. However, that was rejected. I had another student that went to an actual company that creates these electric bills. It's called brand-utility.com, and that passed. I'm thinking that a lot of this stuff is detected or reviewed by AI. There's no way a human is over there reviewing these electric bills and passing them or not. It would be too costly to do that. So I am sure that there's AI tools out there that can easily detect if you changed a name of a brand or whatever. It can most likely detect that the font is different for where the brand name is, and it'll probably reject that, right? Yeah, that was Debbie Hall that tried to submit that. So brand-utility.com, for 30 to 40 bucks, they give you a more legitimate electric bill. Again, we're learning stuff each and every week through my Dumb For You partners. There was another partner of mine that went ahead and we tried to submit for a Google map verification. Let me share my screen and show you what we found on that so far. All right, so the partner just today, she tried to submit for the GVP, Helen, and what we did was we used her personal Gmail. Her personal email has a lot of history. It's a legitimate email, right? It's not an old Gmail, but she does not live in LA. So we used some ISP proxies to connect into that Gmail for a week or so using Los Angeles IP address. Remember, this is not VPN. VPN IPs are easily detected by Google, and it raises an immediate red flag. So never use VPN when messing with any of Google's, especially Google Map listing. So ISP stands for Internet Service Provider IPs. So they're basically grabbing IPs from like Comcast, AT&T, and these legitimate companies, whereas VPN is from like a database proxy server, very easily detectable. So we use the IP address and put some 1 week worth of activities. She submitted it for the GBP today. It gave us the option of verifying the listing through a phone call, email code, or a business video. Now, from what I understand, oftentimes a lot of you guys won't even get the other options. You just get the business video option to verify, right? So I think potentially the fact that we're getting phone verification, email verification is that we did a good job of seasoning the lead gen site for a while, 2 to 3 months. When you type in the brand name, the site comes up on Google. Obviously, the NAP matches on all the social media pages along with all the citation sources. We made sure that the website has schema markup on the homepage and also on the 10 service pages. We have more than 10 service pages, but for now, the 10 main service pages, we put a schema markup on there as well. We also made sure that our operating hours match. So in the schema, we marked up as open Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. We made sure that matches with the Google map listing hours. We also had Helen get the Google Search Console on that specific email that we're going to use to get the GVP. Google Search Console we put on there. And then I gave her the business description to use using pretty good semantics, which I can show you guys a little bit later. We submitted it and went to this screen. She went for the phone verification. I went to CallSling and forwarded the numbers to her cell. But unfortunately, Google's caller is not connecting to her cell phone, even though I can call the CallSling number and it'll forward to her cell. I don't know if any of you guys dealt with this with the phone verification using CallSling numbers, but potentially Google has a way to detect that this was not a real cell phone number or real line. It somehow potentially connected that it was a forwarding number and it didn't connect. And then we had the text verification apparently before, but when she went back, the text verification disappeared. Just goes to show how varying this screen is that you're seeing here. So we went for the email code, and the email code says that it needs to be the business email. So it needs to be, this one's the Santa Ana Elite Roofing. It needs to be at santaanaeliteroofing.com. If you have hosted your website on WordPress or whatever, in the cPanel, you can create like a business email. But however, instead of doing that, what my team is going to now do is create an actual G Suite email for this business. And our plan is to season that G Suite as well, at least maybe 1 week worth of activities. You log into that G Suite, connect the Google Search Console to that G Suite. 1 week of maybe in that brand new G Suite, like signing up to different roofing newsletters, doing some searches in Google itself about roofing, like what a roofing contractor might search on Google. Go create a YouTube account with the G Suite and then go subscribe to a bunch of different roofing channels. Then we're going to do that for a week and then go try this again with the email code. And if this gets verified without business video verification, that would be most ideal. This is what we're trying to do. Aaron says, I had a lot of issues at first getting the call to come to my line. When I eventually did, I entered the code and it still got suspended almost immediately. I've heard that even with phone verification, there's a potential that it can get suspended right away. Would the phone code verification be the call sling number that's associated? Yes, it has to be the call sling number because that's the business phone number we're entering. So we'll do the email verification using G Suite. The fact that it got suspended immediately could be a few number of things, such as, was your IP not in the city? Was the Gmail brand new email? Yeah, do let me know, Aaron, if there are anything that you can think of that could have raised a red flag when you were doing that. Could it be that on your home IP, you already tried to verify multiple different map listings and it got suspended? So Google fingerprinted your IP